Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Had to turn off the charts yesterday because I was traveling back home. That move cost me dearly. Let me show you why right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, people. So yesterday, obviously profitable morning. Let's just go over the morning strategies quickly. We had gold. We had a really nice short setup based off of my inside bar strategy between 8 a.m. Central Time and 9 a.m. Central Time. If you want to follow along with that strategy, the videos for all three of my strategies are linked in my description below. We got activated to the short right at the 8:35 inside bar candle. Took a beautiful trade, made about $340 on that trade in gold yesterday. So let me pull up oil. Oil, we actually had no trade during session one, which is from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time, and we did get a trade in session two. We got an inside bar at 9:40 in the morning, and that proved out to be a really nice winner, which I was not able to take because I was heading out to the airport, and some of these trades can sometimes go 35, 40 minutes. Usually they're not that long. I mean, there could be 5, 10 minutes, but I honestly didn't even have that much time to spare. So I was not able to take this trade. This would have been a $500 day yesterday. But the story doesn't even end there. It gets even better because the Rob reversal, which has just been hot as shit lately, takes a setup at 12:30 Central Time to go short, closes below the ADMA. It is within our time conditions, 35 points, $700 winner. If I would have been in there, I was in the sky at that time. And just, that one hurts. That one hurts. So, again, gonna have to see if we get another setup here this morning. I am hoping that we get something here. Hoping that we get another Rob reversal, to be honest with you. But I will, either way, I'll let you guys know where we stand on the morning strategy setups for today. If we are able to take another Rob reversal this morning, stick around. You guys can see me trading live for me, but you guys can see how I get into these trades and my recap at the end of the video. I'll see you guys here in a little bit.
Order canceled.
All right, so here we get into our first setup of the morning strategy session, and it is in gold. So we get activated here to the long, and I mean, I can, looking at this chart of gold, this thing has been ranging all morning, really no clear direction kind of whatsoever. So at this point, price action really can do whatever it's going to want to do. But at the same time, in Discord, I had mentioned that gold, to me, looks like it's poised for a huge breakout. And even though this trade ends up turning against us, if you once you take a look at the recap at the end of the day, you're going to see that gold had a huge move out of this range. I mean, you could just see 5 candles in a row where a lot of indecision, got a big inside bar candle, and unfortunately with this one, price action just goes a little bit nutty and knocks me out of this trade. Full stop on this one. Here it comes.
Stop filled. Order canceled.
All right, so here we get into a trade in oil during our session 2, which again is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. This trade, we got our setup after, about 10 minutes after oil inventory report. Oil has been just on a absolute clear dump for about the last hour, as you can see. But again, this is the type of play that you get with these inside bars, is you get a bottom of a move, and you get that doji candle, you then get your inside bar, and that's all I'm looking for in this type of price action. Naked charts, no indicators, just purely based off of movements of an inside bar. And you know, people can say, well, you are at a clear downtrend. You know, why would you try to take a chance on a long here? Well, that's been what I've based my back testing on. And I have found that these inside bars that appear during these session times produce some not huge moves, which is not what I'm looking for, but decent enough moves. I think in this one it was 23 ticks, so about $230. And as you can see, we get a tick away from taking our full take profit
Order
here.
filled.
And it then reverses. My cash there hit, but this one in CL stayed, kept going. And I did. I got some flashbacks from my video from last week. I think it was maybe Friday, or I don't know, it could have even been Monday, where we had, I think it was even in oil, where we had two bars be, back-to-back bars come one tick from our take profit and reverse all the way to our stop loss. So, those things will creep up in your head, but, stay the course, see these trades through. I know sometimes it's only 2-3 ticks, but full take profit here.
Target filled.
All right, well, that was a pretty interesting morning session in gold and oil. Let's take a look at gold first, which was our loser this morning. We get activated into a long here after the 8:15 a.m. Inside bar, and this thing just slams back down for a very quick loss of about 15 ticks. So, started off there with a loser, and then at this point you're kind of depending on oil hopefully to come through, which, as a spoiler alert, obviously it did. You saw that video. But if you're here for the recap, so just also wanted to kind of give you guys another lesson here that I shared with my Discord. So after we get stopped out here, let me just take this out. So after we get stopped out here, price action is somewhere around this bottom low here, which was obviously you can see that there's been, a lot of rejection there. So I should say support there. I don't like to trade in support and resistance, so sometimes I even get them mixed up. But you start to see where there's an area of support. Now, once we got knocked out of this gold trade, every ounce of my body wanted to just take a long, because I knew that it was a reversal setup, and I knew this thing was just going to go straight to the moon. Not to the moon, but a very, very nice trade. And I didn't let myself take that trade. Now, would that trade have been a winner? Absolutely. It would have been a fantastic trade, but would never have fit my rules. It would not have fit my conditions. And yes, even though this trade would have been a winner, which I would have almost preferred it to have been a loser, because if I was, I don't want to say dumb enough to take that trade, because that's not the right word that I'm looking for. If I was not disciplined enough to follow what I have put into place, and I would have taken that trade, that sets me up for then taking the next setup that I have a feeling about, or that I think that we're going to get a bounce from. And that's not how I trade. I did not take that trade. It would have been a fantastic winner for me. But again, I even put in my journal that I had the thought of a discretionary trade that I did not take that would have been a winner, but I followed my rules. And that to me honestly is the biggest win for me today. Not the little $80 that we ended up winning in the eval. Which let's just see, how would we have even won that? How did we win that $80? Well, session 1 was a loser again here this morning. We got activated to the short, and we just got knocked out of that trade. Don't even look like it was this close to take profit, because it slammed our stop loss pretty quickly and then reversed back down. So took a loss in my cash account on session 1. I'm not trading it in the eval, as I'm still monitoring the ratio on that. We're about 32 ticks down for the entire month of February, which, obviously you can make up for almost in one trade. So it's fighting. It's there, it's balanced, but it's still down, and just not enough conviction here to trade it. Now, you might ask, well, Rob, why the hell do you trade it in your cash account? Well, and this might sound like a dumb answer to a lot of people that watch this video. I've mentioned this in my Discord for since I've been taking session 1 off, is personally, I like to see the exact price action of what happens with those trades. I back test everything, and I record everything that I have. So even if I'm taking it with a really small position, 1 micro, 2 micros, whatever that scenario might be, I'm honestly just taking the trade so I can record it, and I can have really good real-time data, which is the absolute best type of back testing. I don't recommend this to do this on all strategies, but even though I feel my edge on session 1 has been diminished, I am hoping to put this back into my catalog of trades that I take in the morning, because 3 trades, in my opinion, would be much better than 2, because it does help you balance out the day. So, there's a lot of different ways to strategize these inside bar strategies that I have. One strategy is you take 1 trade, whatever trade comes whichever is your first trade, win or loss, you might be done with that day. You can take a loss on your first trade and take the second session, or take another instrument, take 1 more trade where you can maybe have the chance of breaking even. Perfect example would be today. We took a loss in gold first. We were down on the account, and then we get this second session in oil, which this thing had been dumping for not all morning, but for a good hour. And we then get this doji candle, and we get another inside bar. So, I'm like, this is this is going to move one way or the other here. And the second that this thing took off, I already knew that this was going to be a full take profit on here, which was a nice trade, $230 there, which ended off getting our account to a plus $80 today. So that's kind of what I'm talking about with these, how you can work these strategies. You can take every session, every trade, perfectly acceptable. Because to be honest with you, if you were to take every single session without any thought whatsoever strategy, you'd be up. And you try to make a strategy that fits what you want, or what your risk profile is, and you would kind of can make some tweaks from there. So you kind of have to find an area that works for you. So nothing yet on the Rob reversal. We got at least a setup to go long, but that was at 7:45 a.m. this morning. So that is pre-session. I am not looking to take that trade. I will be leaving on the strategy to see if it does take another trade for today, which I'll update you on that tomorrow. And I'm sorry, this morning I totally forgot to show you guys where we sit with the eval. Currently, I should say, before today's session, we were at 49,848. So we were minus 151. Well, we just added another 80 bucks minus commissions. So this thing is probably going to be at minus $80 or $70 tomorrow. And, you know, we're again fighting back. We're constantly fighting back. On my cash account today, I was down 110 bucks with when everything, all the dust settled. So eval up 80, cash down 110. But in general, and this might sound very, very odd to people, but today I don't judge. I don't even necessarily think it should be about today. In general, it's a hard statement to say, but in general, I don't necessarily consider a green day or a red day as a positive day or a negative day. If I made mistakes in the day and I was green, I would still write down in my journal that I had a bad day of trading. And today, let's just say my cash account is negative. My eval is up slightly, nothing to write home about, but it's still up. Today would be a very positive day for myself trading because I didn't let those old thoughts that I have, that as much as you can work on the psychology of this game, you are going to be tempted to take trades that are outside of what you have back tested, outside of what you have confidence in, because that's our human nature. And that is difficult to overcome. But the fact that I didn't take that trade today, for me, is a very, very positive sign. And I'm saying that even with the thought of that probably would have made me 350 bucks. Because I would have probably just hit buy, and those bracket orders come up at 350, lost 350 up, and that's probably what I would have ended up making on that trade. But I am still extremely positive of how I traded that today and throughout the session. So one thing I'm excited about is, so I got my computer in last week. Wasn't able to get it set up yet because obviously I took the weekend off to Florida, and so I'm hoping that after coaching my daughter's volleyball game, that I will be able to set that up. So I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see how all these monitors are going to work with this pretty badass video card that is installed on that computer. So I'm excited. I know it's sometimes the little things that excite you, but I'm pretty excited about it. And I'll share with you guys how that is. I know some people have wanted me to make a video on kind of like my trading setup here, how my monitors are laid out. I do have some special software that I have installed that was actually a recommendation from, what channel was it? It's the other guy that I watch. Hasn't posted a lot of stuff recently. Futures Trader Next Door. I could be saying that wrong, but it's the guy that's like in his garage. And again, I like his channel because to me it seems like there's not a lot of bullshit there, and he's not trying to sell me courses or anything like that. The only thing I don't understand with him necessarily is that he does show his trades, but I have never really figured out the strategy behind it. And maybe I've missed it, but I value his channel because he's given me some really good tips on the tech side. So he's got this software that he uses for his monitor setup, where I've got two really big screens in front of me stacked above each other, and then I actually have like a 43-inch 4K TV that's set up on a bracket to the side of me, where the software program that he recommended will turn that monitor into 4 2, 3, 6 individual desktop displays. So it has actually worked out extremely well because I could have my Discord, I could have all my TradingView charts, and then I could have my main trading with the editing and video software that I do to make these videos. So maybe one of these days I'll do a video on that setup, and maybe some people will get some value out of that. Well, that's all I got for today. Hopefully we get a Rob reversal here today. Hopefully it's a winner. But either way, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.